Well, hi, welcome on back. And if you're new here, thanks for dropping on in. Today we're going to be talking about 7.3 high pressure oil pump, specifically the review of the Diesel Site Adrenaline high pressure oil pump that I just installed into my 7.3. And if anybody's worried about sponsorships or being paid, this is a review. It is my review. Nobody's paid me. Nobody gave me anything for free. So stick around and we'll get into the kibbles and bits of what I have found. Alright, let's get into the nub and the bits and pieces and kibbles and bits. Once again, we're talking about the Diesel Site 7.3 Adrenaline high pressure oil pump. So I've got 550,000 miles approximately on my 7.3. It's been just an excellent motor, and of course Ford found out that these motors basically last forever, and we can't have that. So all the years that they made these and all the popularity of them, it's too bad that they had to stop producing them. But at 550,000 miles approximately, I started to get a light, check engine light, and pulling that code in there, it stated that the pressure from the high oil pump was getting low. Every time you'd go up a hill, the light would come on, and when you go down the hill, the light would go off. So she's about at the end of her life. Had no leaks in it. Matter of fact, all the videos that I've seen with high pressure oil pumps that, do this leaks, that leaks, geez, from brand new to 550,000 miles, I never had a leak. I never had to do an O-ring exchange, nothing. And I'm gonna probably bet that it's because I changed my oil. I don't care what the manufacturer recommends. I don't care what the oil bottle says. I don't care what the oil company says on how long you can go with an oil change. I change it religiously every 5,000 miles, if not a little bit before that. And it shows that I don't have oil leaks, I don't burn oil, it's a strong motor, and I take care of it. Now, one thing that sold me on the Diesel Site Adrenaline is that I used to have problems with the turbo because it was a sleeve turbo, the factory unit, and I upgraded that to the Irate turbo, which was a ball bearing turbo, and plus it was brand new. Never had a day's problem with that turbo. Normally I would run into issues about every 2 years. I've had the Irate ball bearing turbo in there. So if you're looking for a good quality turbo to put in that's not gonna, make you go bankrupt or have to take out a mortgage, yeah, it's a little bit more pricey than the regular turbo, but it's well worth every money. It pulls just as good as today as it did when I put it in. I also use a dual filtering system, so that is part of it too, so I'm not constantly taking in any type of dust and debris and dusting the turbo wheel, the impeller wheels and stuff like that. But let's get back to the point. When I started getting the light, of course we hit the old Google machine, and there's a lot of companies out there that do rebuilds on the high pressure oil pumps. Well, my experience with getting anything that's rebuilt, when they give you a 1-year warranty, you're pretty much at that 1-year warranty that it's just going to go to heck. So I didn't want to go down the road of getting a remanufactured one or rebuilt one, whatever they call it, because you don't know what kind of person is working on it. you know, they could ship it out of country, and definitely down there they have no scruples. Just, you know, if this one o-ring is bad on here, let's just replace that, shine up the exterior of the case, and then we'll just, you know, send it back out again. It's very sad. So in looking around, I just said no, I'm not gonna go and get a remanufactured one. I was hoping to get a brand new one, but from what I found, you can't get a brand new one, which really sucks. So I tripped across dieselsite.com and seen that their adrenaline pump upgrade, and it made all kinds of promises, which, you know, if you're like me, you've seen all kinds of promises, and the delivery is, you know, piss poor. And it stated that this is a heavy-duty rebuild. It brings a higher volume and higher pressure. You'll see a definite difference from stock when you install this. The fuel mileage is supposed to increase. The pulling power is supposed to increase, and it's got a heavy-duty dual ball bearing system on the inside instead of a sleeve. Well, since I ran into a problem with the sleeves on the turbo, factory turbo, and I put in the Garrett that had a ball bearing and never had a problem with it, well, you know, right then and there, you know, mentally I was sold. So I went through last 2 weeks ago, installed it, and the results are in, the early results are in, and that's why I'm telling you, if you're going to consider doing this, that it's a good idea. This is what has happened in that period of time. Noticed right away after the air got out of the system that every day this bad boy starts really fast. Never before has this truck started that fast. You just snap that key and bam, you're running. Very, very impressed with that. Another thing that I'm extremely impressed with is it quiet. Oh my goodness, it is just quiet. Before you had the little bit, you know, the normal diesel clicking, clacking, and you can hear the lifters, or I mean the injectors under load, doing a little bit of clicking and clicking as you're going up a steep incline while you're towing something. That is gone. It is quiet. Inside of the vehicle, it is just absolutely quiet. Made a huge difference that way. And geez, you can feel the torque. They say it's a power increase. Well, power, I guess, is subjective. And the torque was immediately noticeable. Right from when I pulled out of the shop to the last car that I hauled, because it's a tow truck, unbelievable amount of torque difference, and quiet once again, quiet under torque. The spool up of the turbo also changed too, to the point where both between the torque increase and the turbo spool up increase because of the extra amount of flow and the extra amount of pressure. I have a 6-speed ZF6 transmission. You had to watch where your shift points were, actually. You know, you get used to having a vehicle, it's going to make certain types of sounds. You got the shifting going on. You just do it by ear because you're used to it. Well, my goodness, relearning how to drive the truck, because if you don't pay attention to your RPMs and your speed, you'll go right past your normal shift point that you like to shift at. It is just that amazing with the amount of power and how much quiet that it had made the truck. Now, fuel mileage, very important. I've been promised on other performance products that, your fuel mileage, you put this in and your fuel mileage is gonna go up. Well, most of it's BS. This actually is not BS. I average 15.4 miles to the gallon through the whole week. The previous week I am at 16.2, and that was a windy week where I live. I was also pulling a lot of trucks, towing a lot of trucks, and 16.2. So I can't wait to see what the fuel mileage increase is going to be this week when I get done, because I've been basically towing cars, haven't had a ton of wind, there's been a lot of long drives, so I'm pretty excited about it. So the point being, what am I trying to get at? This is worth every penny, and she was expensive. Boy, I tell you, with your core, before you send the core back in, I was at $1,148. I think there was tax on that too. I'm here to tell you, it's worth every penny. So if you're going to do this flip, instead of going along with another crappy rebuild, I would look into the Adrenaline series. Now keep in mind that there's several different companies that offer the upgraded high pressure oil pump for the 7.3. I don't have experience with them, but I do have experience with Diesel Site. Very easy, ordered it, it showed up fast, and the installation was seamless. Everything that you needed was in the box. So go ahead, don't think of it as a risk, spend that extra money, it'll be well worth it. And let's face it, in the end, if you know anything about the 7.3, if you can get more oil into those injectors, well, those injectors are going to last longer too. And it just brought my old truck right back to life again. So thank you very much for stopping in. You have a good day. You're still here yet? It's over. Oh, I know. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell, and that'll tell you when my next video comes up. Until then, go home.